Alrighty, so for your next item in this week, I want us to drill down a little more on the idea of Git and GitHub. Now, the second thing you'll do after watching the video from me that you're doing now is you're going to watch this video. It's a 10-minute video, not that long, and it really is good because it starts to, even at a more deep level, clarify the difference between Git and GitHub, and it talks about some of the other services and ways it's used. But for our class, before I have you dive into this video, I just want to be clear about something because this is one of the things that can really throw students off. From this point forward, right, we no longer go out to GitHub through our browser and modify files. I wouldn't go out here to maybe an assignment file and think I would edit that file now. Now, if you do, there's ways to fix it, but I will just tell you, if you do that and then you come down to GitHub and you try to complete the workflow here, you're going to get errors. And what that is there's going to be a conflict. Okay, and a conflict would exist if you modified files out on GitHub, okay, and then tried to version control something locally. You can do it, and actually I could show you a command to do it, but more than anything, because this is all so new, for now, just know that only work in the local system, and then make sure you're completing the Git workflow to push your code and your commits to GitHub, because what happens is you turn in URLs from GitHub to show me your history generally, okay, or we're using it somehow. Generally, it's history from here on out. But it may not be, because it may be, sorry, I shouldn't say that, because it would be dependent on what we're doing. So like when we're working on Bootstrap, or we're working on the template or something like that, then you would be giving me your URL that you got last week. But let me stop and just say, from now on, the only thing you really do out on GitHub is go to the URL that you need to share either with me or with the class. You no longer want to be modifying files out on GitHub. Okay, you only want to modify files locally, push to GitHub, because remember, if you're working local, then only you see those changes. Like right now, if I was to come in here and that last assignment we were in, right, if I was to right click, open an integrated terminal, if I was to do git status here, I would see that I have an untracked file, which makes sense. It's it's untracked. So only I am going to see this file. If I need to share that file and I try to embed that file, I can't do that, and because it's only local. Okay. And I might think, well, I'll just go out here then to my pub and I will I'll go to my public here and I'll just upload that here the way we used to do it. It's a very natural thing for you to think to do that. But I'm just going to tell you, rather than to go through the kind of the bummer of getting an error, just don't do it for now. And then know that I'll cover how to actually do that if you ever wanted to in a future video. Okay. All right. So there's two things. I'm going to modify this a little bit. So when you come in here, it's going to look a little different, because there's two things I want you to do. One is I want you to tell me if you understand from here on out the way we are going to interact on our local system versus on GitHub, right? So maybe write your understanding of that from so that'll be the one part. And then the second thing will be to watch this video and tell me if you now have a better understanding of Git and GitHub. Okay, so you'll have two parts that you'll need to cover for this particular discussion. Okay, I hope that helps. Talk to you later.